Today we will be talking about supply and demand, two forces at work. Today's film will be starring supply, the amount of a given product that a supplier is willing to sell at a given price, and demand, the quantity of an item that consumers are willing and able to purchase at any given price. As well as featuring equilibrium, which is the price point where suppliers are willing to provide the same amount of an item as people are willing to buy. You may have wondered how the price of a new car gets set on the dealership lot, or what makes video games generally about $60 when they're new. The answer is supply and demand, and today we'll explain a little of how it works. Supply and demand can be represented graphically by drawing a simple supply and demand graph. First, we have a vertical axis known as P, and also a horizontal axis known as Q. The vertical is price, and the horizontal is quantity. This graph will allow you to show the relationship between price and quantity, which is really the basic idea behind supply and demand. First, we'll go ahead and we'll draw a demand curve. This is generally a line sloping from left to right. Go ahead and label this as demand. If you recall that video game we were talking about earlier, demand is what puts the price at $60. If we go to our graph, you'll see the demand curve again. If the price is very high, quantity will be low. If the price is too low, quantity demanded will be quite high. Second, we'll show a supply curve. This is the supplier side of the equation. If you think back to that truck we mentioned earlier, how does Chevrolet decide how many trucks to make? It all depends on the supply curve. At a lower price point, they're not willing to make very many trucks. At a higher price point, they're willing to make a lot. This is the supply curve. The point where these two curves meet is called equilibrium. This is a price point that is satisfactory for both consumers as well as suppliers. So for the video game, this is why a new game is $60. That's the price people will bear. Same thing for a new truck. A new truck is about $35,000. That's the price people will pay. So again, we have price and quantity, which is supply and demand. You have your demand curve and your supply curve, and in the center you have equilibrium. And that is how price is defined, and that is the end of the lesson.